This episode of This and That with Mitch and Matt is brought to you by Bypass Pawn of Moorhead, Kentucky. Bypass Pawn was voted #1 pawn shop and gun store in the region. The good folks at Bypass Pawn have all your firearm, ammo, jewelry, tools, and electronic needs covered. So come on over and check out Bypass Pawn and tell them Mitch and Matt sent you down.
What's up, world? You guys are tuned in to episode 16 of This and That with Mitch and Matt. As always, I'm Mitch.
I'm Matt.
I'm Blake.
Today, guys, we got a very special guest. We got former UK linebacker Kash Daniel with us tonight.
What's up?
Been a long time coming, man. We were talking about that before we got going here. I think mid-July I tried to hook up with you and going down Lexington to meet up with him and just T-bone, man. Just totaled me out, totaled my car out. It was just wasn't meant to happen, I don't think. I don't know what went wrong. But it finally, what is it, end of September, and we finally got together. So what's up, man? What are you doing now? I know you're I see your Instagram a lot. So we were just talking when you stepped away that all I see you is fishing and lifting weights. So
that's about it. Yeah,
I figured that was all you did. Yeah.
That's about all it's been. That's about all it's been for the past couple months. But I just got this aluminum rig that's been in my family for ever since the boat was brand new. Like I say, it's a '92 tracker.
Seen it, yeah.
And I've always wanted an aluminum boat to ding around on, put in some of these ponds in Lexington that I fish, and take it and be like an upgrade boat, a multi-purpose boat. I can duck hunt out of it. I can do a lot of things
Nice.
with it. And I've always seen like Ott Defoe has a really nice aluminum rig, and you see Brian Latimer has a really nice one. So many other guys on the tour that can do a lot of cool shit on it because they can float them in 6 inches of water, and they put jet drive motors on the back of them, and so that's what I'm ultimately wanting to do. But yeah, man, other than that, I've just been lifting weights and getting ready to start with. I'm working for UK Sports Network now, and
Okay.
my first assignment, I would say, is this coming up Saturday, where there's not a lot of fans in the stands.
Right.
They have me doing like a stream deal where fans can get on and watch the game with me and hear me talk about the game, and they can put comments in there and whatnot and ask me questions about what's going on and shit. And so I can get on there and just talk football with people. So I'm really looking forward to it. That'd be a really cool deal.
I'm sure it's a bit different, man. I know
Yeah,
COVID has changed the world, so I'm sure that's cool. I'm sure doing anything like that, man, with any kind of role where you're either a sportscaster or announcer, anything you're doing on field stuff now is totally different than it used to be 10 months ago.
Oh, definitely, man. It's completely different. And if you look at it in general, I mean, hell, the world itself, was different.
Yes, sir.
10 months prior. So, just looking at it as I mean, my life's changed with it, and I know a lot of other people's lives have been impacted by it, and have put them in a lot worse conditions than myself. So it's always a blessing, to count them when you got them, and just keep rolling with it.
That's all you can do, man. I've always liked your drive and your determination. You've always seemed. I've watched your interviews in the past, man. It's just always like this no quit attitude. No matter what happens, you kind of roll with it. And that's inspirational, man, especially for people who's coming up to play sports or not even playing sports, just everything in life.
Yeah, man.
To have that attitude, man, because so many people, it's so easy to get down on yourself nowadays. When you look like Matt, you don't have a lot going for you. So, what do? You just, you gotta keep going and keep driving. And I think Matt handles that quite well.
Yeah,
but your dad, so was a professional bass fisher, right?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
So it was a different format back in those days. You got Major League Fishing now. You got FLW. You got Bass the Elite Series and everything like that. But there wasn't a opens. There wasn't anything like that. And so literally it was 250 boat tournaments. Out there with dudes from the top of the line. From Rick Clunn all the way down to people like my dad that nobody knew.
Right.
And so it was a lot, I would say, so much harder to get into back in those days, but also be able to do it in general has gotten so much easier now with the exposure that guys can get and how They can expose themselves through the internet and things like that, and through sponsorships and social media and things like that. I mean, hell, Dad was telling me about how he would have to sleep at the boat ramp, right there in the truck, to fish tournaments and things like that. And so,
Grinding.
I mean, you still see some
Yeah.
guys, out there sleeping on their boat,
Right.
underneath their boat, with their throwing their covers on. I mean, and it's just such a hard profession to get into, and to be able to thrive in it. It's I couldn't imagine the stress that you'd have to put yourself that you put yourself through. But yeah, he fished for a couple years, and then he realized that this is what he told me anyways. He said I had to come home and spend time with you and watch you grow up. So I was always thankful that my dad made a lot of sacrifices for me growing up, and that being one of them.
Right. There you go, man. I mean, we all got some, good dads to handle shit when they had to handle it. So
Yep.
I did I owned an outdoor store. Go ahead, Matt.
I was just saying that's really important. But yeah, that's all.
No, I was just saying I owned an outdoor shop for a while, and I drove it right into the ground as quick as I could. But in that short time that I ran it, I sponsored some guys that did some kayak fishing for man, I don't know, it was like some kind of some kayak series, like angler kayak series. They'd go out on those big ass $3,000 kayaks,
Yeah,
and fish. I in the back of my mind, I can't Hobie tournaments. There you go. And they fished off Hobie kayaks, man. And I sponsored a couple of cats that did that. And they'd pack up, man, here in Kentucky, and they would take off and be in Florida, and they go down and fish. And it is what it is. A buddy of mine had I sponsored him. He went down. Evidently, story is he would have placed real good, nice and good, but you had to weigh in by phone somehow. Like, you didn't have service. So he's out, and he's got his fish, and I guess he's got somebody with him keeping track of kind of what's going on and his weights to make it official. And he's trying to weigh in by phone, but he don't have service. So in all, he kind of got DQ'd and sent home. So I'd never heard of anything like that, man, where you just check in with phone. But I've seen on Facebook here more and more lately that people are going to these tournaments and hiding fish in buckets.
Oh, dude, that's been going on for years. I mean, I remember.
Never knew that shit exists, man.
Not in buckets, but I remember when I remember one guy got caught doing it. This guy ran the Thursday night derbies out at Paintsville Lake, and I'd always fish from growing up. I started fishing those tournaments by myself when I was probably 14, 15 years old. And Dad would drive me out there. He'd drop me off. Hell, we lived literally a skip and a hop, skip, and a jump from the lake. So, I mean, sometimes I'd even just trailer up there, at 15 years old. But, and this one guy, the guy that ran it, he didn't do anything throughout the week. He didn't work, didn't do anything. He's a retired kind of guy. So he'd go out and fish Monday through Wednesday and catch, a couple overs and take stringer, like old school, like somebody go to the river, string trout with or something.
Right.
He'd catch that fish and put somehow to weigh it down, to weigh the rope down to where people couldn't see it if they were fishing in there. And he'd just go back in there on tournament days and find that rope, pull it back up, and there'd be, a 4-pounder on the end of that line on a stringer. And you could finally got caught when we look at the fish, and every single one of them had a hole about this big around the top of their mouth. And so
we've been stringer ran through them.
Yeah.
Damn. I never knew that, man. I've seen, I'm in some fishing groups on Facebook and seen they'd found little buckets, man, bags of fish in them, and people just roll by and just dump them the night before. And I was like, it's a shame when people cheat in fishing tournaments. But I guess there's such big money in it, man.
Shame, man. That's a damn shame.
That makes sense, though, right?
There's too many. There's fucking cheaters and everything.
Well, no, it's not cool, but the method it makes sense. It's a pretty simple thing to do, right? It's not.
Oh well, yeah.
It's simple. It's simple. They literally just go fish and tie it up to something, and come back and get it.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be like me. I went out this morning at 4 o'clock deer hunting. That'd be like if I had a fucking buck tied to a tree, and I was like, "Look what I got today."
Yeah. I know where he's at. I know.
Right, I'm gonna go get that motherfucker right now. Instead, I've spent 8 hours
campaign. Whenever they're having that campaign, it's like, all right, you put up a fake deer in there. I'm just gonna shoot, and I'm gonna say, "Black Hawk down."
Oh God, he shot me.
That's funny, man. You're fishing tournaments when you're really young. I was like 26 when I learned how to fish with a drop shot, and I swear to God,
I didn't stop talking about a fucking drop shot for like 3 weeks after that. I was like, this is the best shit I've ever seen in my life. You just like cast it out there and like give it a couple, and they just fucking bite it.
I was getting ready to ask what the hell a drop shot was, but now I know.
I love how enthusiastic he is. I picture Blake with one of them rods that you hit a button and it just shoots your fucking line out. Like that you buy a kid. Blake's just out there just hitting buttons.
Oh, I think it was like a 303 or something.
You know it was a Zebco 33, dude. That's all you had. That's all I had growing up.
Is that the
My
button?
Dad, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know how to use.
My dad still fit. He won't go with me with it. We went 2-3 months ago. I took a couple spinning rods, and he was like, "I don't know how to use that shit. Guys, just give me a button." And I was like, "Fuck, Dad, you're 53 years old, man. Just put your finger on it and throw it out there." And he's like, "I need a button." Whatever.
You remember those?
That'll be my fate.
Right.
You remember those blue and white little folding rods that used to come on TV all the time? It was like you ever saw them? It was like this little oval-shaped blue handle, and it had like a white stem that stuck off of it and folded down. And you put like your tackle in the handle.
It sounds like something you get from Finger Hut.
Oh,
Something like my grandma would buy me.
It like snaps together.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had one of those, like a Fisher Price fishing pole or something like that.
Well, it was, but it was not. It was like an actual pole. It was on like infomercials and shit.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I never had nothing like this.
Mine was like, it would fold down into itself, and then you could pull it to retract it, kind of like collapsible or whatever.
A telescoping pole. Yeah.
That's like when you catch the little plastic fish, like a little kid. Like...
Basically, yeah. Dude,
Cash,
I was
you
like
hunt?
fucking 6. I mean,
Oh hell yeah!
You deer hunt in Lexington or
I deer
bow
hunt.
hunt?
Man, when it comes to deer hunt, man, I meat hunt. You know, I like deer meat. To me, man, it's the best. It's the best piece of meat there is out there. You know, I think I literally last year I was on an all deer diet from I think November to February, and it was the best shape I've ever been in my life.
Well, speaking of your best shape and your deer diet, I can't even let my girl. So she looked at your Instagram, and then she looked at me, and she's like, "Why don't you look like this?" And I was like, "Well, fucking evidently, Cash and I had different priorities in life. I don't fucking know, but I mean, I'm sorry." So secretly, I go behind and I unfollow you on her phone. I was like, "This is bullshit. I can't have this anymore." So she's at the door right now knocking. She's like, "Hey, you need anything? You need a soda? You want to come in?" "No, I'm good. Fucking stay out there. We got this."
Does Cash need anything?
Right? Does he need anything?
Me coming?
No, he's 200 miles away. Leave him alone. I just killed a doe. So I bow hunt. Killed a doe last week, something like that. Week before last.
I've been out tending this thing up all day long.
Oh yeah, nice.
Is that a Matthews?
Yeah, Matthews MR8, man. I've had it since I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
I'm not a total dumbass. Like I can
like
recognize the Matthews.
And
so I got an elite cure, man. I had a Hoyt. I went to elite. So I hunt with elite now. I got this guy bow. This guy got me in the guns and shooting, and I was like, man, he would love to bow hunt. It lasted like 3 minutes, and he's like, fuck that bow, and he throws it down.
Well,
so I
gave him a mulligan. I gave him.
So I was like, how about a crossbow? You'd love a fucking crossbow. It's a rifle, but it's a bow. Blew his fucking thumb off one shot. I mean, just blew it off. First time he shot with it, he was like, "Oh, my thumb," and I was like, "He's like, it hit it," and I was like, "No, it cut it off, is what it did." So he's holding it like this, and I was like, "I said, do you have a thumb?" He's like, "Yeah, it just hit it," and I was like, "Open your hand." He opens his hand, and it's just blood everywhere, and he was like, "Oh god." Yeah. So Matt sticks to rifles. He doesn't. He doesn't like early mornings. It's like if you were single and we were putting you out to date, it'd be like, my name's Matt. I like guns and not early mornings.
Like if you're a NASCAR, like if you're a NASCAR driver but didn't like the speed.
Yeah. Basically.
What's up?
Like curbs.
just lefts all day.
Yeah.
What's
I'm just a left guy.
You own property there? You public land hunt?
So I public land hunt down in Nicholas County, and I got a lot of friends, that have property out here. I'm really good friends with Tevis and James McCahey at Whitetail Heaven Outfitters. I went out there actually the opening weekend to hang out. I didn't hunt, but I always I started turkey hunting with them this spring, man, and it's they're great guys. They got great people working for them. They know how to have a good time, and they put their clients on animals, man. And
I think under this shirt is a Whitetail Heaven Outfitter shirt. I own a lot of their shirts. I've never been able to go down, but I've always followed the guys and thought, man, that they just do an excellent thing, and they seem to always have huge bucks, man. And
they're giants, man.
They stick people on them.
Every spread they had opening weekend opened up on Saturday, and hunters would stay, I think, till Sunday evening. So they arrived Friday. We had a big party Friday night. Then they would hunt Saturday and Sunday evening. And dude, I'm telling you, the spread that they had with hunters coming back. I mean, it looked like every deer was easily over 160. Easily, every single one.
Wow.
Those dudes have a good time, man. I watched their Facebook lives and their, I don't know, I guess it's like in their kitchen and their whatever it is.
Yeah, the lodge, man. They know.
There's 60 people and there's food
bring
everywhere.
Live music in there, and Tevis's wife is the main chef out there at the Central Lodge, and they got so many different areas, man. I mean, I killed an Osceola bird down in Florida with them at their camp down in Florida. I killed another bird at their north camp on the other side of Ashland in Ohio on the river, but we hunted in Kentucky. And actually James, he lives, I think two or three streets over from where I live here and off Leestown Road in Lexington. So I see him all the time at Speedway or whatever, and he's like, "Hey man, anytime you want to come," because he knows I just doe hunt.
Right.
And he goes, "If you want to come, go kill a doe." He said, "We got plenty of them for it." I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll be out there as soon as I can."
Yeah, I've always wanted to go there, man, and it turns into I work a lot and money, and I've never been to go, but I hunt doe around here a lot, and I fill a freezer up, man, with doe. I don't ever hunt for antlers. I ain't never ate an antler that tastes good, so
nope.
I'll kill any big fat nanny doe I can and stuck the freezer full.
That's right.
I took Matt turkey hunting this spring. First time he'd been turkey hunting, he had a good time. We didn't have any luck because I call god awful.
Dude, I'm telling you, turkey hunting's my crack, man. That shit.
People used to tell me you'll like turkey hunting more than deer hunting, and I was like, "There's no way, man."
Oh, dude.
Dude, I love turkey hunting. I'll go every day.
It's addicting, man. It's so addicting.
Up every morning.
Seems more interactive.
You can go after them. Like, you ain't got to sit there and pattern them out. I mean, you can if you want. But the best thing I do, I run and gun.
So you can run and gun.
Howl and see if one respond and go after it.
Yep. We tried that, man. Yeah, we got busted because I'm fat and half handicapped, and Matt never been before. We looked like what was it, Tropical Thunder? That's what we looked like out there running around trying to get that fucking bird. But I didn't get into hunting. My dad didn't do any hunting or fishing, man. So I didn't get into hunting, I don't think, until I was probably 26. I'm like Blake. I stopped 26. I was a volunteer firefighter. I bought a bow off a guy who was like your size, so his draw length was like 34.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's 28, and I was pulling that thing back, and I was like, fucking bruised my arm up, ripped my fucking nose off once, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And finally, I got it down, man, and I just started loving to shoot bow just as a hobby.
It's fun, man. It's real fun.
Oh, it's great, dude. I shoot out back, and that's what I told Matt, man. He would. He's a pinpoint guy with a rifle, but he don't enjoy the bow much. I keep trying. I'm like, man, try it again.
Well, I mean,
so
see what happens with him and bowstrings, man.
Listen, it's because he shoots a rifle like this with his thumb up and that bowstring,
used
man.
To the fucking C clamp on an AR. You stick that thumb up there and on top.
Stick it up in that crossbow. You're lucky you got one.
Yeah,
I know.
So.
That's a lot of weight. 135 foot-pounds of energy, just
right in his thumb. Yeah.
I'm
so I know, man.
I've got mobility out of it now. Like, I can actually tap on it. My nail feels attached now. That was just wild. They actually like pried the thumbnail off and then sewed up the finger and then sewed the thumbnail back on, and it just reattaches. I didn't know that was a thing. I just thought they just take it off and like, well, grow it again. But
hey, Mitch, I was curious. When that happened, you said you told him that it cut it off. Did you because you saw it happen, or you just knew?
No, because I know that a crossbow will. Because what he thought had happened was the string had just hit his thumb and like it felt like a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know about crossbows, and I know that string coming at fucking wampus ass cat speed. I said, dude, he said, I would hit my thumb. And I said, no, do you have a thumb? It probably cut it off. And he was like, no, it didn't. And I said, open your hand. And there's like meat hanging out, his nails hanging off, blood's going everywhere. And I was like, yeah. So,
yeah, it was pretty rough.
Matt freaks out when he gets injured.
He didn't like it. He didn't like it a bit.
Nah.
Man. So,
He freaks out a bit.
I maintained.
Dude, so I know COVID, following you, especially being from Kentucky, I know that I've, watching you come through your senior year and shit, it seemed like COVID, man, really screwed a lot of people up, a lot of college guys up that was going, was going to go to the next level. They didn't have anything. They didn't have no pro day this year or anything like that, right?
None of that shit, man. Man, and I've had to. It's been a long time, getting over that, just because. Man, that was my.
Then I bring it back up. My bad.
It's all good. Man. I'm over now, so I can talk about it. But yeah, man. It like I was saying before, though. It screwed a lot of people up, though, and it put a lot of other people off, worse than it put me. And I mean, did it have an effect on, me not going to the pros? Absolutely. And, I'm not going to sit here and, try to make excuses, why this or this didn't happen. But I mean, it's just facts. I mean, I would have I don't know if I would have won or not, but I would have had a damn better chance.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, not people, but I mean, the NFL and the coaches and the scouts that saw me before, I already had this pre-notion of, that I was, slow in coverage, slow in this, slow in that. But what they didn't realize is that I had to play injured, my whole career. And I didn't play my 2 years of starting. There wasn't one game where I played 100%, not one single game. I mean, it was not even where I was even at 90. I say I played my whole career at probably at 70% to 85, no more than
And what,
that.
you missed like one college game your whole career, right? Is that right?
I missed one. Yeah, I missed one because of my concussion. And then I got ejected twice, I think. No, I got ejected once and had to sit out the first half. And then I had to sit out the first half again because of the floor shit. And
yeah.
And then after that was the Missouri game. So total, I've sat out of 4 quarters of football. So yeah.
Right. So Matt, I know you're not a huge football guy, but like a pro days, like before the draft, like Cash had a chance to go out like with, I guess, what guys are your choice, right?
So basically, what it is to wrap it up in essence is that when you get done with your senior year, you either, if you're a top player and you're going to get drafted, guys go off and they train with personal trainers down in Florida at these real nice complexes, that cost thousands of dollars. Their agency puts them up in these villas and all this shit. Well, for me, I mean, I was just a guy trying to make it. And so I had the 2 of the best strength conditioning coaches, in the country. And they would train me for free. So why would I go anywhere else? So that's where initially everybody that came out of last year's class, I don't think anybody besides Lynn went to work out anywhere else. I mean, Stenberg was with me. Everybody in that class was with me, and they're working out with Coach Ed, and they had us in the best. And the reason why I was just so disappointed, man, is just because of all the hard work we'd put in from the day that after the bowl game until now. But to get back on track, so if you're a guy that you're not one of the top, I mean, the top guys definitely will get the invite. But if you're like a top 100 player, you're going to get invited to the NFL Combine, which is when you get the biggest combine you can get in front of, to get in front of general managers, owners, head coaches, things like that. And they get to see you, the guys that literally make the calls, not scouts, not this, not that have to report to them. These are the motherfuckers that make the actual call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they get a chance to, the best cow gets shown first. So that's basically what it is. And but for other guys, they still get the opportunity, to have a combine, just not at that magnitude of a level. And they call it a pro day, where everybody that's eligible for that year's draft coming out of that school has the opportunity to put on a pro day, to where they run the same drills. They run the 40-yard dash. They run the L cone drill. They do everything that they did at the NFL Combine, except that now they send scouts instead of coaches and things like that. And so the guys that went to the Combine can either say, I did my thing at the Combine, I had good enough times there, I don't need to do this shit. Or they can go up there and say, no, I was supposed to run a 4.48, but I ran a 4.51. So I got 2 weeks to get this shit right, and I'm going to go do it at pro day. And so
Yeah.
that a lot of pro days is where dudes make or break, because, if you finally get your time to heal, especially if you're in a position like me where I graduated in December. And so that whole, after that, I mean, I was done with school. And so the only thing I did was literally my schedule, and it was the funnest schedule I ever had. I would literally wake up, I would go work out, I'd come back, and I'd go turkey hunt, I'd go, deer hunt, I'd go, not deer hunt, but I'd go bass fish, or do something. And, and just get that complete rest and everything. But when COVID came and it canceled it, man, in the back of my head, I kind of thought, like, this may be it because of this, because you needed that pro day. Like, you needed to go out there and show that you can run, that you can flip your hips, that you're not what they say you are pre-notion wise. And so,
this might be a dumb question, but all right. So if you miss that pro day,
you don't get
even though you're finished, you can't go back and do it again or anything like that.
No, if they cancel it, like they didn't. There's a difference between postpone and cancel. If they postpone it to a different date, then maybe. But the way the NFL works, man, like, they're on their schedule. They don't give a shit about anybody else's schedule. Oh, your house burnt down, tough shit. Your COVID came, canceled pro day, tough shit. We're starting camp on this day.
Find somebody else.
Yeah, right. we ain't got time to, to reschedule everybody's pro day and and make everybody feel like they got a fair shot. They don't give a shit about your feelings or your dreams or whatnot. Like, they want the best. Right. They want the guys that they know that they can go out there and win. And for me, it would have had to have been like a Tom Brady story. Nobody knew that, I fell all the way to being an undrafted free agent and then having to work my way up. So they're going to take the guys that they know are dogs in college football, that are getting talked about on draft boards, that are getting put on mock drafts, that are getting hyped up. And so those are the guys they're going to take. They don't give a shit about your feelings.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
The dog world, man, and that but it sucks. I mean,
shitty.
Of course, above all, man, how bad that fucking sucks. But
no, it sucks, man. But like I said, at the end of the day, though, man, there was a lot of people when this happened that struggled to find food for their kids to eat, that struggled to, put a roof over their heads and put a roof over their kids' heads, and and worrying about their health and things like that. So at the end of the day, man, I look at this thing as as a glass half full, and just be thankful for whatever comes,
Yeah, man, that's
right.
I'm saying that's what I said earlier, man. I've always watching some of your interviews and shit. You've always had that motivation, man. So that's very inspiring to feel that way, because I was blessed, man, to work the entire time. I wasn't out of work. I worked in matter of fact, I had 2 jobs, but I've worked in the healthcare field. I've been a paramedic for 13 years, so I stayed busy through all that, man. And it's changed the world, man. And it's the wildest thing. It's the wildest thing to live through is I feel like right now is everything going on, and it's wild, man. I can't even go downtown and see motherfuckers that wear masks. They still want to wear masks. They just wear them down here. They just don't wear them because for whatever bullshit reason, the government's not going to control me, know. And I don't know, man. I don't know if this is the new norm. Like, this may be life. I don't know if that's what it's going to be.
I was about to say, I'm actually anxious to see, what's going to happen when they say, okay, you can. Okay, let's say they came out with a vaccine. They came out with something, or somehow the motherfucker goes away for some reason.
Right.
Right after the election is what I'm calling for. And
usually,
well, I just want to what people are saying, what people are going to do when they say, okay, we're back.
Right.
Are they going to put, restrictions on how many fans can come to games? Are they going to put, are they going to divide seats? Are they going to, are bars going to stay open as late? Is this going to happen?
It's wild, man, because it just kind of depends where you're at. I was watching college ball, I guess this week and last week, and pro ball, and like Florida, I know they've got fans in a lot of their seats.
This episode of This and That with Mitch and Matt is brought to you by Bypass Pawn of Moorhead, Kentucky. Bypass Pawn was voted #1 pawn shop and gun store in the region. The good folks at Bypass Pawn have all your firearm, ammo, jewelry, tools, and electronic needs covered. So come on over and check out Bypass Pawn and tell them Mitch and Matt sent you down.
You know, I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan. We don't, you know, and not that we need fans. We don't need fans.
I was just gonna say, actually, we could use.
Don't talk shit. Don't talk shit right now.
No, I was gonna say we could use him in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah. We need some line. We need linemen in Cincinnati. Anybody's better. I don't know, man. It's rough. It's a rough deal right now. But
y'all need a kicker 2 weeks ago.
listen. We get one piece, man. We'll put it together. We got a good quarterback, and that's something we ain't had for a while. So we'll put it together.
You get Joe Burrow, man. I'll say this about him. Through these first 2 games, man, he's looked very confident back there. He's looked very poised. I just think that once he gets the fact down that he's not in college anymore and that this is legit big boy football, like when that move the other night against Cleveland when he tried to spin out of that spin out, he got his ass
thrown. He got thrown down hard.
You know better, son. You can't do that. And but he looked it was the second most attempted passes by a rookie ever in the NFL.
Yeah.
He threw 61 times, man. I just think if he can stay healthy, man, and if he can just keep doing what he's doing, I'd say within the next 2 or 3 years he's going to be an elite NFL quarterback.
I agree, man. I think we got to give him some protection to help out a little bit, but I think we lost that couple games or that last game there. We had a call late in the game.
Yeah,
but he makes good calls, man. He's confident and he plays ball. I like him. I was glad, of course, with the pick. Everybody likes first round pick. It sucks to be I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan, a Cincinnati Bengals fan, man. So I'm used to being down here at the bottom of the world. So, but now you and Blake, man, got you. You guys have a little something in common. Blake used to be. I don't know. You still be wrestling fan, Blake, or?
No, not as much now. I'm big in the Attitude Era too, though. That's, that's my favorite. I love it. I went to
it. Awesome, man. That shit was the best.
Man, I remember going through school and just being a big DX fan and everything I did. It was just like suck it. And I remember how many times I had to go to how many times I would look at my principal and he's like, "Really? Like, you can't point at your crotch in the cafeteria and tell girls to suck it." And I was like, "Well,
all of our parents hated us."
Right?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I just miss the days when your parents had to come in there and tell you not to watch wrestling. Like that was
right.
That was the best part of it. It was just like doing something like you're like, oh shit, this is something I'm not supposed to be doing either. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep doing it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hide and do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it.
My mom be like, go to bed. I'm like, God, I'd shut the door. I'd turn some wrestling on. I'd be like, shit. She'd be like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, hitting the remote real quick. Nothing.
Yeah, trying to turn over real quick. Go back.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you'd see like
Beavis and Butthead.
that too. But you'd see like Shawn Michaels and Triple H with what they would be doing with Sergeant Slaughter, and then you'd try that shit on your parents when they were trying to tell you what to do.
Dude, I don't know how I live, man, because I know that I had a friend that had a trampoline, man. We thought wrestling that trampoline was just the coolest shit ever.
Hell yeah.
Like I remember kicking him in the balls several times and like stone cold stunning him off of the trampoline onto the ground. Like I don't know how we have body parts left, man.
It was we got hurt a lot.
Yeah, because we grew up in that era of like Stone Cold and that wrestling era, like the Attitude era, and then we also grew up in that Jackass era where we talked about this on another podcast.
Oh man,
when backyard wrestling got big, I'm surprised we survived through that one.
Yeah,
right, get the
wrap that bat and barbed wire and hit me in the face with it. That'll be cool, And we thought this shit was cool, man. Why? I don't know how that happened, but now I wonder why as I'm gimping around on one leg and one badass leg. So, so what's next, man? What do you got? So you do. I want to hit on that real quick. You've got a YouTube channel called Off Season.
Yeah, no. So right now, my YouTube channel is just called Kash Daniel, and
okay,
the series itself is called Off Season. But I just uploaded episode 1 of the Off Season podcast.
Sweet.
With Tim Couch right here. It's a separate channel. It's called the Off Season Podcast.
Nice.
I wanted to separate it because it's 2 different messages on there, man. Like this one right here, my slogan is real, raw, and uncut. Just because this is going to be the real me. It's going to be a general conversation like I would have, with just people, with no cameras around, no nothing. And it gives me the opportunity to actually sit down and, get to know a lot of cool people and
Nice.
get their honest opinions about stuff, and for them not to feel pressured that they have to be this, this thing that society says that we have to be when we're on camera and when we're on this and on that. And I just wrapped up episode 2 the other night with Carl Anderson from Impact Wrestling. Used to be with WWE. Used to be with New Japan Pro Wrestling, part of the club with AJ Styles and everybody. And next week I'm bringing on, or this coming Wednesday, I'm having Casey Smith from Barstool Sports on. So it's good. It's a cool opportunity, man. I've always wanted to do it, and just the equipment and everything. And I'm not a tech guy, so literally I had trouble setting up this damn thing. And
So you're talking to the worst guy in the world. I was like, I want to start a podcast, and I was like, now what do I do?
We somehow got him through it. It was intense and difficult though.
Yeah, I mean, before we called you, I'm like your grandpa. I'm up in the camera and it's up my nose. I'm like, hey, can y'all see me?
Yeah.
So
But,
so Blake, can you put a link to his YouTube in the channel?
Yep. Yeah, I'll get it.
Ah, cool. There you go. We'll put that on, man. That way
Awesome,
people
man.
can
I
see that,
appreciate
man.
that.
No
We'll do
doubt,
your
man.
we'll do your YouTube and the podcast. We'll link to both of them.
Yeah, cool. So my first one is, my actual channel is just Kash Daniel, and then the podcast channels is called the Off Season Podcast, and the season spelled SZN, all caps.
Awesome.
Put links to that, man, so people can find it. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate you.
I know, especially coming from a sports background, man. A lot of buddies I told about this. We were gonna get up with you and hang out and bullshit a little bit, so they're all pumped for it. So hopefully we'll get everybody to check that channel out, and
Hell yeah,
especially
man.
around, man. It's a lot of outdoorsmen, Eastern Kentucky. I don't even know if you know, man. I live in Moorhead, so I'm only about an hour away. These cats live,
I'm an
these guys live about, so everybody's pretty close, man. But it's a big, especially right now, it's all outdoors, man. I've got a buddy call me today, went and do some crappie fishing. He was like, man, I heard you can put these green LED lights on your boat and drop them in the water, and you'll catch all kinds of crappie. And that's all he keeps telling me.
What the fuck's a crappie?
Yeah, dynamite too.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man.
Is that like a real name, or is that like a nickname?
It's a fish, man.
It's a
fish.
It's crappie.
Really?
Crappie fish. Man, it's good
sounds
fish.
made up.
No,
It sounds made up.
It's like
spelled like crappie.
a hybrid between a bass and a bluegill. Is the best way I can say it.
There you go. That's good.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'd like to try.
My bad.
I'd say here's a question. Former linebacker. There's a few people that have done this. Have you put any consideration into fighting?
Dude, I would love to if I didn't have so many damn concussions. Trust me, I would love to. I love the UFC. I just love mixed martial arts. I love the lifestyle of it. I love the mindset that those dudes have, and how they're the most dangerous men in the world, but they're all about
Killers, man.
Peace within themselves and having self-discipline and all this stuff around them. And I think that's what makes it so cool, is to see guys that, they have a vision, they have a goal, and they know it's going to be hard as shit. But at the end of the day, they're still putting in their hours. They're still putting in the same grind that, a rookie would, just because you have to in that sport, just to be even to have a chance. Because literally in that sport, it's literally, I say all the time in football out there, it's kill or be killed. In there, you're literally got to kill.
Real, yeah.
Or you're going to be killed.
You got a good gym down in Lexington too. Is Four Seasons still there?
I think so. Yeah, a lot of people talk about it. I know a lot of dudes that. I know a lot of police officers train there. I know that I can't remember who it was. One of the former players before my time. I think he played like in the early 2000s or something. Was like saying, "Hey, you come out here and take this class with me. This and that." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I would, man. But actually, dude, I talked to Jorge Masvidal on Instagram from time to time, and I was telling him about the show Off Season. And he was like, "Hell yeah, man!" He said, "Well, I'd love to be on it." And I said, "We can come down to Miami, go shark fishing, go catch a marlin or something." And then I told him, I was like, "I can come over and train with you." He was like, "Hell yeah, come on down to what's that gym he trains at?"
Top Team.
Yeah.
American Top Team.
Top
Yeah.
Team. And he was like, yeah, he'd have to come down to ATT, and I was like, hell yeah.
So a couple weeks ago, I went up and met Matt Brown, welterweight Matt Brown, UFC fighter. And he's got a gym up in near Columbus called Immortal Martial Arts. And he's from this area. He's kind of from this area, man. And he just grew up with that mentality to just fight. He was.
Yeah, just be a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, like, that's just what he did, man. I've learned that a lot of those UFC guys, man, kind of had that path. Matt, well, he is open about it all, and that's what I like about him, man, is he got on drugs real bad, man. And like his first fight, he just kind of went with a buddy to do some underground fight, and he was like, I want to fight. And they said, well, pay $20 and get a cup. And he told me, he's like, man, I don't want to tell people this. He said, I paid $20 and I borrowed my buddy's cup. I bought a mouthpiece. I took it to a restaurant down the street, boiled it, come back, and I fought. And he won like his first 2 fights, and then he's like his third fight, he got his ass kicked by some guy who knew what he was doing. He said he beat the ass off of him, but that's what gave him that drive, man. And to sit and talk to somebody like Matt, man, is he's been in the ring with, like I said, I'm a big Cowboy Cerrone fan.
I love Cowboy.
I'm a huge Jorge fan, man. I think he's came up from all that old shit, man. And
He's like the epitome of hard work, right? Like he's been through it.
Came from nothing, man. Literally came from fighting motherfuckers in a backyard.
Yep.
Yeah. Now he's, of course, he gets so big because of flying knee to Ben Askren. But I mean,
dude, I was so happy when that happened. God,
I hate Ben. This is Ben, man. He just runs up. I was just that kick, man, or that knee was just like incredible.
I love
nasty.
And people got offended, like how he got down in his face and did all this other shit, motherfucker.
Right,
I would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah. I'd also punched him 3 times like that.
All that shit he was talking pre-fight, man.
Right.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, he deserved that, And I loved it, people got him about those punches that weren't necessary. And he was like, those were super necessary. They were.
Like, you're literally, his job is to keep going until somebody pulls him.
Right.
That's what he's taught.
And had roles been reversed, and Ben,
same exact
right,
thing.
you damn right, dude.
Tried to take a war. He literally would have tried to. He would be the kind of guy to literally try to keep going if a referee was trying to get him off.
Yeah, Ben. I've not been a big fan, man, of Ben. Of course, I feel like he ran his mouth a lot, and I know Jorge talks a lot, but he also, man, he'll punch a motherfucker.
He's a real motherfucker, bro. He says he's real. I mean, he'll talk shit, but when he says shit, it's not goofy.
Right.
It's not like it's like, oh, he's just talking shit to talk shit. No, when he's talking shit, like he's coming at your soul.
Yeah, he'll punch you in the face out in public or wherever it's at, man. And that's what I like about him, man.
He walked away from an interview and what he called three pieces of coke.
3 pieces of coke, yeah, or soda.
Dude.
Punched that dude, man. He just nailed him, man. And
Well, Kobe called him out. Colby Covington called him out last night.
Yeah,
called him Street Judas.
Yeah,
I like Colby Covington, but he's kind of the opposite of Jorge Masvidal, right? Like he talks shit.
He's the guy to talk shit because he knows he can talk shit.
Right, and it's funny. I like him.
Everybody's got their niche, I guess.
Yeah. So
did you guys see where he got a call from President Trump after the fight?
Yeah,
like on live TV, that
interview.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I'm pretty sure he forgot the guy's name like already, like on that phone call. But
So I hear Rogan talk a lot, and I've always been under the assumption that Kobe is what he does is a persona. Like he's took some of WWE and turned it in.
He was about. Go on.
I feel like you have to do that. I feel like you have to be like like for me, like I know that having that persona and having that character around you. And maybe being able to be somebody that you're not for a couple hours, that's what gets you. And, my persona really was to be, at the end of the day, football players are entertainers. Like people come to the game to be entertained. They come to watch, they come to watch the sport, but at the end of the day, they want to be entertained. They want to leave, feeling satisfied that they just paid $65 for a ticket. And so I can see, even if it's like having that persona just to go out and be able to perform and be able to literally mentally hype yourself up and thinking that you are the baddest motherfucker to ever walk the planet of the earth. And especially in a game like that, I would have to imagine that if you don't believe you're the baddest motherfucker to ever walk the earth, then you have no business business stepping in that octagon.
Right.
No, dude, he's a fighter, man. I mean, I think he's a hell of a fighter. Like I said, I don't, he's not I don't like all the shit talk. I like somebody go out and just handle their business. I like Jorge goes out, he'll talk shit, but he finishes it. But that's what I like about Cowboy, man. Cowboy he just does his thing, man. And he's not really a journeyman, but look, he's 50 fights now he's fought. And I heard him say last night that he's lost 5. Like he considers last night a loss. You know, because yeah, well, but
Definitely
you know
didn't win.
right, but you also think if he lost, he got docked a couple points for poking Cowboy in the eye, or he would have won. You know, so
Right.
Cowboy lost that fight, and he knows it. But you know, he's still, man, he'll come right back. You know,
And the thing about it is, he's not going to take a year off. He's going to take, 3 weeks off, and he'll be announcing the next card.
Right, yeah, he'll fight, man. And when he's not fighting, he's out like racing fucking Baja trucks.
He's living life, man, and that's what I love about Cowboy. He lives life.
Yes, he enjoys the shit out of it, man.
He enjoys, like, if you have the stuff that he has, if you have the BMF ranch, and you have all those toys to go out and snowboard or wakeboard and shit, dude. If you're that kind of person and has that stuff at your fingertips, and you're sitting and you choose to sit inside all day and do nothing,
that's your fucking fault.
Fuck you. I would
yes.
I would kill to have that. Like,
we had the same conversation last night when Matt said something about
go out there and like have ATVs at my fingertips like that.
Right. No shit.
Horses,
yeah.
Like, that'd be fucking awesome.
And I wouldn't care. I'd get my ass beat tomorrow and be up, Tuesday morning ready to play. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
That's what Matt was talking about. He wasn't gonna get as much money for losing a fight, and I was like, dude, he don't even need the money. Like, he fights because he wants to fight. He don't need that fucking money. He's just out there because he wants to beat ass.
Extra.
He's Cowboy too, though, so he gets paid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he gets paid.
Just his name alone. I mean, he's going to get paid.
Yeah.
Right.
It's his name alone. But yeah.
But if you stop that right now, man, he's got money, and he's still gonna be out, racing dirt bikes and just drinking whiskey and living life, man. And I was telling Matt, I said,
the BMF ranch for people to start training some people out there, dude. People would come up from all around the world.
100%, man. He's the kind of that, but that's just a guy. That's the kind of guy I want to hang out with. That's the guy I want to call me and be like, hey, what are you doing Saturday? Let's fucking let's go.
That's the guy I want to drink beer with.
Right?
Yeah.
I've always, man, since I got into UFC, man. I remember back in the day when it was like Tank Abbott, and Shamrock, and they were out there like breaking bones and just beating the ass off each other, man. And you couldn't get those movies on VHS, and they were always like at a movie store. You have to rent them. They were always back where you're like not in the porn section, but just back there where you're not supposed to be. And I would come
off the adult section.
Right. I'd come home with like UFC and Faces of Death, and my mom would be like, "What are you? No, you're not watching any of this shit." And I was like, "No, but look, it's fine, and she'd be like, "No, you're not." And so I go to my dad's house, and my dad orders pizza, and we're watching Tank Abbott just whip the ass off somebody at 286 pounds. So, but that was the shit, man. And
you look at it more recently, and a lot of these college and pro football players are coming in and kind of kicking ass. Like Eric Anders is in there.
Oh, yeah.
There was a fight last week on Fight Night where it was 2 former college football players that were fighting each other.
Good. Did y'all see old boy knock? I'd say he looks like Tyler Childers. That Tyler Childers lookalike guy got knocked out one punch last night. I can't think of his name.
Oh, that was that Swedish dude.
The Machayev fight.
Oh, was that mean ass Russian?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He just like and it just dude, that fucking.
Don't fuck with Russians, man.
No, they're mean. They're mean son of a bitches, dude.
Shit, boys. I mean, all they do, they live in cold water and start drinking vodka at the age of 5.
Yeah. Bears and shit.
Like there's a reason why they stay pissed off. They're constantly drunk on vodka and they're cold.
Yeah, dude. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Dude, he just yelled. He yelled the whole time and then punched him in the face one time and was like, all right.
I saw a stat. My buddy was telling me the other day that about his ratio of thrown punches and punches being landed on him.
Oh, it's ridiculous if you can find it.
So it was like 95-2.
Yeah, in 3 fights. Like, it was crazy.
Like, he don't get touched. I mean,
I was like, how is this guy still not a star?
He's like a giant.
Dude, he is just.
I think he's one of Khabib's boys too, isn't he?
He's
sure,
like a
dude.
big Khabib, at least. He's just like
him. Khabib's a bad guy, man, but this guy just, I think he's going to be something else. I mean, he's got these hands that are super fast and heavy as hell, man.
Oh. I mean,
he knocked out last night. I said, looked like Tyler Childers, and I was like, why is he fighting, man? And he got nailed, man, and he just dropped, man.
Yeah.
It's like a sack of taters, man. He was out.
It was 17
I like
seconds.
the interview that he did afterwards. He's like, he was very concerned with, like, am I getting my 50 G's now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, money.
Probably.
He's got that mean-ass hair lip.
Yeah, he got a cleft lip from hell, man.
Yeah.
That's where he got beat as a baby.
Yeah, he's sitting there thinking, 50 G's?
Man.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
vodka.
Right. I'm telling you, man. I mean, if he wouldn't have won that fight, they'd have taken him back over and beat the ass off of him. Probably.
Yeah,
Like, he has to
He
win.
would have been in it'd have been like a movie scene, him like down in some kind of pit,
Right.
having to crawl it'd be like
Him-
when Batman had to crawl out of that
Charlotte
pit.
with a broken back had to crawl up that tunnel.
Yeah, that's what he had to get out of.
They win. They come to win every time.
He was
Oh, yeah.
born in the darkness.
He was.
Shit, man. So, what's next, dude? What are you? What's on you? So you're in with? Did you say SEC? Who you doing this?
No, I'm doing. So this is with UK Sports Network right now.
UK Sports. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm trying to work my way up to hopefully one day be on SEC Network. Man, I got a lot of connections there. I know a lot of people that work with them.
Right.
So hopefully, get my feet wet this year and getting some action on the sideline reporting and things like that. And I think with my personality and the way that I can talk with people and how I can try. I try to make things as fun as I can, man. Just because if you're not having fun doing what you're doing, man, then
Don't do it.
it's just going to fucking suck. And so
Yeah.
I'm trying to get up there, and make a name for myself in this industry, and just try to see how far I can take it, man, and see if ultimately what I can get out of it. I'd like to, with this off-season series stuff, man. Like I'm taking former and current, college and professional athletes and coaches, hunting or fishing. And, I started out with my buddy Jamin Davis, and we had some great conversation out there. And I taught him how to throw a bait caster, and it was really cool.
There you go.
And then I took Tim Couch, and I'm still waiting on that episode to get back to me. And ultimately, what I'm wanting to be able to do with it, man, is like one day I'm going hunting with Brett Favre, and then I'm going fishing with Deion Sanders and Randy Moss the next day. And it just be
That'd be awesome.
to show people, real life.
Right. Hell yeah, man.
Other than what they're known for,
Right.
Or, when you take off the shoulder pads, when you take off everything else, and it's just the human being that was born the same way as every other motherfucker was born.
And dude, that's what people want to see. We all love it behind the scenes, access. Yeah. We all love Hard Knocks, and you love seeing what it's like, when cameras aren't rolling, man. So, dude, I think that's an excellent idea. I mean, that's what everybody wants to see. Who don't want to see Primetime out, throwing a bait caster or trying to shoot a doe at 40 yards.
Prime can fish, dude.
Really?
Yeah. Him and Randy
shit.
Moss. Hell, Randy Moss fishes. He fished some FLW events.
Nah, I had no idea, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He fishes FLW events, and then Dion. So Casey, who's coming on my show next week, Dion's with Barstool now doing their college football show with them, and they record every Saturday down in Dion's ranch in Texas. And I was like, I texted her before that, and I said, hey, you have to go see his pond because he's got a fucking unreal private lake. And she texted me back and was like, yeah. She said, this thing's fucking awesome. Just beauty, just how beautiful it is. And he'll go down there and catch fish for days. So
I'm jealous of that. I don't want the big house, man. I used to want, when I was growing up, I thought it was important to have a big house and fancy cars, man. And I don't want any of that, man. I want some
MTV cribs.
Yeah.
When I'm 13 or 14, Mitch, that's what I wanted. Was like, I wanted to be, that's the same thing. I want a little cabin, and I want some land. I want, 80 acres with a couple ponds and some places to hunt and chase turkey around, man. And that's all I need anymore.
Yep.
And I've loved it, man. My girlfriend, she's never hunted, never fished, maybe fished, never shot guns, man. And she's went out hunting with me. We've been hunting out of a blind. She goes out and she'll sit beside of me, and it's wild, man, because you see the fact that she's not that person, man. We went to high school together, and she was that emo girl with the short black hair and black fingernails and this shit. Now she's like full on camo, out in the blind with me, talking to me about does and talking to me about bucks and telling me all this shit about them, man. So it's super cool, man. And I think the outdoors, I know, officially changed me, man. When I started hunting and fishing, dude, they did something to me that it's a whole other thing, man. I love taking Matt hunting with me. He's not a morning person. He gets pissed off. He takes him 3 hours to wake up. Then he's a better person once I get out there with him. I pick him up at his house and he's just grumpy as fuck. He just growls. I'm like, he wants some breakfast. He's like, I don't want shit. I don't want anything. Just go. Just go to the blind. And we get there, and like an hour later, I'm like, hey buddy, how you doing? He's like, I'm good, dude. I'm good. Yeah, it's nice out here. And I'm like, shit. So it's all about timing, I guess, man. But the outdoors, man, I think bring people together, and I know probably sounds real corny, but it's the truth, dude. Like I've got so many good friends now that I've got through hunting and
Oh man, some
through
of the
going
best.
through the NWTF, banquets and shit, man, and meeting people,
Yeah.
dude. I just some of the best people you'll meet in the world, dude.
Oh, dude, like some of the best people that I still talk to on a daily basis, I've met through hunting, fishing, or we started a friendship just over the fact we both like to fish. Like one of my best friends to this day, and me and him started this when we was in college, and with us being out of college now and us trying to get real jobs and everything, it's kind of harder to get together and everything like that. But my buddy Ian, he shot rifle at UK, and I didn't know a whole lot of people that like to hunt and fish in college yet. I think this was my sophomore year of college. And I was at our tutoring center one day, and my academic counselor was talking to me, and she knew that I like to hunt and fish. And she's like, Have you met this kid named Ian yet? Or have you met Ian from the rifle team yet? And I'm like, no, because I mean, you don't hardly have any time to, mingle with anybody unless it's after a game.
Right.
But and I was like, no, and she's like, well, he's right over here. He loves hunting and fishing. He does stuff on YouTube. I'm like, shit. And so I got up with Ian. He's just he's a northern redneck. He's from up there.
Yeah.
He sounds like a Canadian. He's up there from Lake Erie.
Oh,
But
Michigan boy.
but man, he just loved to hunt and fish, and that's how me
Right.
and him started. Just we'd go hunting and fish together. We started turkey hunting together. It's actually where I found the public land spot that I hunt in Nicholas County. And and we're some of the best friends to this day, man. We always see what we're doing and
Right.
everything like that. But yeah, man, I think that when you get people in the outdoors, and especially if it's for their first time, man, I think that's the first time you really get to see the real side of somebody.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I want to be able to offer up that excitement that I get out of being in the outdoors, that heart pumping moment when that gobbler hollers back at you, or that jaw drop moment, when you shoot your first deer, or
Right.
the heart attack you about get when you feel the thump on the end of that jig. I mean, it's just something that you really can't explain. It's really a feeling, and I want to be able to take people that are passionate people, like a lot of athletes are, but introduce them to another thing that they can be passionate about, and also maybe even introduce them to a thing to where it can be a relief for them, because I know
Right. Yeah.
it's a big relief for me to go out
100%,
there
man.
and just take a breath and go, damn.
That's what my girl, that's what she talks about liking much. This is the most peaceful I've ever been in my life.
That's peaceful as hell.
You go out, man, and sit and you watch the sunrise. We get in the blind at 5:30 in the morning. We sit there, man, and the sun rises, man, and you hear all the animals and the birds. You hear an owl.
Up this morning.
You hear this morning I was out and I heard an owl, and right after that owl, man, I heard a turkey shot gobble, and I was like, oh, it's turkey season, shit. Like deer hunting was over at that point. I was like, we're turkey hunting now. Like this is happening. So this is what's happening. But it is, man. Being outside and being in the outdoors is something. And I know when Matt and I went turkey hunting, man, I know at one point he looked over at me and was like, man, this is awesome. And he was running and gunning for this bird. And he's about 80 pounds less than me, so he was a little faster, and I am way behind him trying to call, and he's just fucking gone. But I used to see, man, how happy he was, man. And I got a buddy named Corey, and he's a nurse, and we worked in the ER together for several years, man. And he's that buddy like Ian is to you. We don't always catch up. There may be a couple weeks we don't talk or a few days, but deer season comes around, man, we can always link up and help each other do some food plots or hang some stands. And we're always texting pictures back and forth of our trail cameras, man. And it's somebody that we can get out and turkey hunt with. We have a good time, man. And that kid always stays close to my heart because of that, because he got me into a lot of different hunting I hadn't done. We fished together. He actually lives in Mount Sterling.
Okay.
So his father-in-law's got some real nice land, man, and I was blessed to let me come on there and do some hunt or some fishing on their pond, on their farm pond. Nothing like farm pond fishing, man. I love farm pond fishing, and but he's that guy I always go to if I got something I don't know something, or I got a question, or I want to age a deer. I'm like, look at this deer, man. What do you think about this? You think this thing's too young, and he will give me he gives me that quote, needs another year. And that's just not me. That's just not me, man. I'm hunting to put it in the freezer. So whatever year it is fine, man. That meat's good. So I eat the shit out of some deer meat, man. I make deer meat everything. I made manwich last night for the kids, man, here, and I use deer meat.
Awesome.
Chili, deer meat in my chili, and
deer goo is the best thing there is.
Dude, I'll make anything anything I can. Some hamburger helper, deer meat. I'm still, Eastern Kentucky eating hamburger helper. I mean,
Oh,
Father-in-law makes
Yeah.
deer jerky.
Yep.
yeah,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
yeah.
I like that.
Hammer sausage and all that good shit.
Yeah,
Backstrap steaks are my favorite though, man. You can't. I mean, and for a guy like me that loves working out and everything, man, it's literally the leanest protein you can find.
I feel you. I'm right there with you. I got you.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about the sweet loin, man.
That
the-
loin, unreal.
yeah, dude. So I took a couple deer to the processor, and they don't. I don't know if you get that back from a processor. By the way, I think they keep that shit.
I think it's like their own personal trophy.
Right, it is. So a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, don't take that yet. Let's take that sweet loin out first." And so he's finally showed me how to take that out, man. That's the first thing I do. I'll field dress that deer, I'll clean it out, and I'm cutting that sweet loin out, man, and I'm throwing it on a grill and ready. But I know my first few deer, I never got it back, and I was like, "Yeah, a lot of processors kind of hang on to that because a lot of people don't even know about it." And I was like, "That's some shit, man. That's good meat. That's good eating. You want that food, man." So I know, man, I've kept you a little longer, I think, than we anticipated. But tell us again. So episode 1's up of your podcast, right?
Episode 1 of off season, the series, is up on my personal channel, just Kash Daniel, with Jamin Davis. Episode 2 of that should be out here soon, hopefully. And then episode 1 of the off season podcast is officially up with Tim Couch. I'm looking at it here. It's an hour and 2 minutes long, but we cover a lot of cool stuff. And me growing up a Browns fan, and him being from Hyden, Kentucky, and me being from Hartsville, and I got to know Tim. Actually, funny story. First time I met Tim, it actually caused a recruiting violation for when I was getting recruited, and Kentucky couldn't talk to me for like 2 weeks or something like that. And it was something stupid. I took a picture with him on the side.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's all those rules, man. It's the craziest shit in the world. Like how that all happened.
Dude, I'm so glad to be able to say this, but fuck the NCAA, man. They're the biggest communist of all of communism.
They use your
should
boys,
have been
man.
getting paid the whole time.
Oh
Yeah.
God, man. Like
I
was sitting there thinking, man, like if I was able to make money off my name and likeness while I was in college, I wouldn't even have to worry about right now about going to the draft or anything. I'd have been set.
Yeah.
I would have been doing commercials. Could have been doing this and this, but I will.
Now you just did a commercial, right? You just did a commercial?
Yeah,
recently?
I did one with Benny Snell for UK UK Credit Union. I actually just shot another one. A little, I think it's shorter than that one. And then I got another one coming up for a Ford dealership down in Somerset at the end of this month, I think.
Nice.
So, yeah, people be seeing my ugly ass on TV, I guess.
That's all right, man. It works. Whatever gets you through, man. I met Tim Couch, man, he was at UK. It's back when Hal Mummy was coaching, man.
Yeah.
I went up playing football, and we went up there. We used to go to Georgetown for our high school football camp, and that's where the high school team always went. And this was like between my my middle school and high school years. And my dad actually paid for me to go to camp at Kentucky. And we got to meet, Tim Couch and Hal Mummy, and we got to do all that. I was probably 12, 13 years old, man. And it was cool. It was something different to be that young. And at that point, man, you're just in awe of everything because that's something you've never seen before, man. And you wake up at 5, you go run, and you come back and have breakfast, man, with Tim Couch. And I was like, shit, this is awesome. I'm famous. I was shitting in high cotton, man. I didn't know what was going on. Whoa. So, but listen, man, let's get together and hunt and fish. Let's do some stuff.
Anytime, bro. Anytime.
Man. Said you can come Eastern Kentucky, man. We got some good stuff here. A lot of doe we can go kill and throw some back straps on a grill and drink some beer. I don't know better night than that. So that's about where it's at, man. But dude, I appreciate you. I know it's been a long haul trying to get you on. I know I talked to you every now and then and tried to catch up with you and keep up and let you know we still want to get on together. But goddamn, them drivers in Lexington, man, I don't know how you do it.
Son, you got to keep your head on the damn swivel, that's for sure.
Oh, man.
What's sad is I was turning to get my little car detailed, and this guy came down Winchester, man, about 70 mile an hour in a big Ford Lariat, and he nailed me, dude. He spun me into the Waffle House parking lot. It pushed his bumper back about this far. It totaled my car out, and then the lady came out of the Waffle House and said, "Sweetheart, we thought you was gonna get out of that car and be dead." And then she made me a patty melt because she felt so bad for me.
Hey,
I don't know how that works.
She got you a patty melt out of it. Should have asked
Right.
for a damn All-Star.
Well, listen, you only like the Waffle House though when you're shitty drunk. Here I was, totaled vehicle.
Way
Had to
too
wait on my old
sober.
handicap. Right, way too sober to eat this greasy ass patty melt. And there I sat, and she was like, "Honey, you look rough." And I was like, "Well, shit, man, I just got. Did you not see what happened to me out there?"
I almost died.
Right. You see me get spun. You know why I'm here, right? Because I got spun into this parking lot by that Ford out there. You know.
Listen, you saw. You know why I'm here.
You make me something else other than patty melt. How about a beer?
Yeah.
Cash, man, we appreciate you. Did I wish them the best for you? I hope this channel takes off. Hope everything works out for you. I said, man, I wasn't bullshit when I said you're an inspiration, man. I love looking at your, watching your Instagram, man, and trying to get back in the gym. I've lost a little weight over the years. I'm trying to get some fitness going, get back in shape. So it's, you know, I watch you. This morning or yesterday, you were throwing up like 100-pound dumbbells on a flat bench. I don't know what you were doing, but I mean, I'll go to the gym and throw my 30s up and just pretend, man. So
hey, man, it ain't gotta be you know, something crazy as long as you're doing something.
I mean, we'll make it work. So I said I get out and hike these woods and stuff. So
there you go, brother. Well, man, I appreciate you guys, brother. I appreciate.
Hey, we've had a good time, man. We'll put the
man.
links we'll put the links up so everybody can reach you. And let's say, man, we'll get together and drink some beer one night.
That sounds good, brother. Hey, man, y'all ever need anything, you know, I'm just a message away.